Guys, today, at this point, folks, the Indiana Fever, they're just playing around with us. They're just not taking this offseason seriously. They signed a backup, then they signed the backup's backup. Now they signed the backup's backup. Not to mention all the guards that we're bringing in on a training camp contract. Meanwhile, we still don't have a real starting power forward.
The Indiana Fever just signed their fourth guard in 3 weeks. Not a center, not a power forward, another 5'9" guard named Shatoria Walker-Kimbrough, who averaged 1.7 points per game last season with Atlanta. And the fan base has officially reached their breaking point. Because while teams like Las Vegas are bringing in Kennedy Carter to shore up their championship roster, Indiana's front office is collecting backup guards like they're playing Pokemon. Gotta catch them all, apparently.
Folks, the Indiana Fever have signed Shatoria Walker-Kimbrough to the team. Shatoria Walker-Kimbrough. When we need a backup center, when we need another post player, Amber Cox is over here getting more guards. As a Caitlin fan who once told people to trust the process, I'm totally okay with these moves. Another 5'9".
Look at those fan reactions. This isn't normal criticism. This is a complete loss of faith in the organization's ability to build around the most marketable player in women's basketball history. Caitlin Clark just delivered the highest-rated WNBA season ever, brought unprecedented attention to Indiana, and the front office's response is to sign guards who can't crack rotation minutes on lottery teams. The pattern here isn't just questionable, it's starting to look deliberate. Here's what makes this particularly damning. The Fever have a glaring weakness at the 5 position. Aaliyah Boston is their starting center at 6'3". The backup? Damiris Dantas, who's primarily a stretch 4. After that, literally nobody. They're one Boston ankle sprain away from playing Caitlin Clark at center.
Are they really setting up for Damiris Dantas to get like 15 minutes, 15 minutes a game? Are we really setting up for this? Maisha Hines-Allen being a real part of this rotation? Is this really what's going on? Oh, I hope not. I sure hope not. A new addition to the squad. Welcome to Indiana, Shatoria Walker-Kimbrough. And I want to let everybody know, none of this really has to do with the players that they're bringing in.
And it's not like quality bigs aren't available. Emma Maceman is still on the market. A former WNBA Finals MVP who can play both the 4 and 5, spaces the floor, has championship experience, and has proven chemistry with high IQ point guards. She's exactly what this roster needs. But instead of making a serious offer to a player who could legitimately elevate this team to contender status, Amber Cox is signing training camp bodies. Meanwhile, 2 players who actually have history with this franchise are sitting unsigned: Erica Wheeler and Odyssey Sims. Both guards, yes, but guards who've worn Fever jerseys, who understand the organization, who the fan base already embraces. If you're going to ignore your positional needs anyway, at least bring back players with institutional knowledge. But no, the front office is bringing in complete outsiders who've never played meaningful minutes together.
It's like gold coins in your favorite RPG, front court yeah, they're mining big time. This team is mining gold coins, short guards, big time. Another guard, what are you doing? The Fever got more guards than a prison yard and still no front court. Nothing against the player because I like her, but good Lord, another guard. Nah, this is wild. How badly do you want Caitlin playing the 4? Another 5'9" guard, malicious, incompetent, stupid, however you want to spin it, this front office has to go.
That comparison to the Lollipop Guild isn't just funny, it's accurate. Look at this projected roster. Caitlin Clark at 6 feet, Kelsey Mitchell at 5'8", Taya Harris at 5'9", Raven Johnson at 5'8", Lexi Hull at 6'2", Sophie Cunningham at 6 feet, and now Shatoria Walker-Kimbrough at 5'9". That's 7 guards, most of them under 6 feet, on a roster that desperately needs size and interior defense. You know what happens when you build a team like this? You get bullied in the playoffs. New York runs Brianna Stewart and Jonquel Jones at you in the post for 48 minutes, and you have no answer, Las Vegas puts Aja Wilson in the paint, and she scores at will. Connecticut attacks the glass with Alyssa Thomas and Dewana Bonner, and you can't match their physicality. This isn't theoretical. We watched it happen last season when the Fever got exposed in the first round.
Let us know who y'all will be trading CC to. Otherwise, we don't effing care what goes on in this organization anymore. Front office and White look like cosplayers with their heads up their ass. At this rate, the Fever will be bringing in Natasha Cloud next. I'm surprised they haven't brought her in yet, to be fair. Indiana Fever front office. What position do we need to shore up the most? Center? What position do we absolutely not need any more players? Guard? Fever front office. We have added another guard. Shout out to Rhodes over there at Black and White Sports too. Thank God. Was afraid we wouldn't have enough guards. By the way, folks, all this BS drama and Ari and Sims just sitting out there.
The 2019 championship reference is telling. Shatoria Walker-Kimbrough won a ring with Washington 5 years ago as a role player. That's the ceiling here. A bench piece on a championship team half a decade ago who's now being signed to her 4th team in 3 seasons. This isn't a difference maker. This isn't even a rotation upgrade. This is organizational box checking. Fill the roster spots, hope nobody notices we're not actually getting better, and the fans notice everything. They're tracking every available free agent. They're watching Las Vegas add depth. They're seeing New York reload. They're observing Connecticut maintain their core. And they're wondering why their franchise, which just had the most watched WNBA season in history thanks to Caitlin Clark, is operating like a team trying to tank for draft picks.
Seriously. 2 players who've been on this team, who have been embraced by the fans. Ari McDonald, Odyssey Sims, no Stephanie White. Just sitting out there. And we're bringing in outsiders. It's bad enough that we're bringing in guards, but the guards that we're bringing in are outsiders. They're asking for fans not to be happy. They're downright asking for fans not to be happy. Lynn Dunn, another champion. Front office will be fired by this time next season. I can assure you of that, in case you guys don't know. Shatoria Walker-Kimbrough. She won a championship with the Mystics in 2000.
Here's the deeper problem that nobody's saying out loud. This looks like sabotage. Not intentional sabotage, necessarily, but sabotage through incompetence. Amber Cox took over as general manager with 0 GM experience. Stephanie White came in as head coach with a strong reputation, but she doesn't control the roster. And the organizational infrastructure around Caitlin Clark, the player who single-handedly changed the financial trajectory of this franchise, is being run by people who are learning on the job. Think about what that means. The Fever sold out every home game last season. They had the highest television ratings in league history. Caitlin Clark merchandise outsold entire teams' combined sales. The franchise value probably doubled in 1 year. And the front office response is to sign minimum contract guards who couldn't get minutes on bad teams. This isn't just bad roster construction. This is organizational malpractice.
He played for the Dream in 2025, averaging 1.7 points in 8.6 minutes per game. I don't understand what the big fuss is about. This is my tweet right here. I don't understand the backlash for this most recent signing. We need a backup to back up our backup. Who backs up our backup? This is a brilliant move. This is a brilliant move. This person makes a good point. Wrong, there are shorter guards.
That tweet nails it. Wrong, there are shorter guards still available, because that's genuinely where we're at. The Fever could theoretically go shorter. They could sign more 5'7" guards. They could construct the smallest roster in WNBA history. And based on their decision-making pattern this offseason, nobody would be shocked if they did exactly that. Meanwhile, Monique Billings is being positioned as the starting power forward. Billings is a solid player, a good rebounder, decent defender, but she's a backup 4 on a championship team, not a starter. She's the kind of player you're happy to have coming off the bench for 15 minutes. Instead, she's going to be playing 30-plus minutes a night because there's literally nobody else.
That's a great point. That is a great point. There are shorter guards available while other teams are making moves, while the Aces are bringing in Kennedy Carter. we're over here picking up we're almost at a Goodwill, and we're just going through picking up used toys. You know, it's almost like we're a donation center, and we're just taking donations. You know, like I'm not sure what this front office is doing. I'm pretty sure Emma Mismanagement is still available. That's just a pipe dream. That's never gonna happen at this point. Stephanie White, I said this earlier. The only thing you can do to save your behind when it comes to this fan base, when it comes to the criticisms, is win a championship. It's the only thing that you can do. Because if you guys don't win a championship, well, you did the same thing this upcoming season as you did last year. And we all want to be better than last year, don't we? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I appreciate all of the support. Like the video, hype the video, subscribe to the channel. That would mean so much to me. See you next time, and as always.
So let's talk about what this actually means for the Indiana Fever's championship window, because that's what this is really about. Caitlin Clark is on a rookie contract for 3 more seasons. That's your window. 3 years to build a contender around her before she hits free agency and can choose to go anywhere she wants. 3 years to prove to her that Indiana is serious about winning. 3 years to convince her that this organization deserves her prime years. And the front office is spending year 1 of that window signing backup guards. Here's what a competent offseason would have looked like. Target Emma Mismanagement or another stretch big who can play next to Aaliyah Boston. Pursue a defensive-minded 4 who can guard wings and protect the rim. Keep Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark as your backcourt foundation. Add 1 veteran wing for depth. Sign Erica Wheeler or Odyssey Sims as your 3rd guard for continuity and leadership. Done. That's a playoff team that can actually compete with New York and Las Vegas. Instead, the Fever are constructing a roster that looks like it was built by someone who's never watched a WNBA playoff game. All perimeter shooting, no interior presence, no defensive identity, no physicality. It's a regular season roster that will get demolished in April when the games slow down and every possession matters. And here's the most frustrating part. Stephanie White can't fix this through coaching. You can't scheme your way out of being 6 inches shorter than your opponent at every position. You can't game plan around having no rim protection. You can't draw up plays that magically make your guards able to rebound against bigger, stronger forwards. White is going to be asked to win games with a fundamentally flawed roster. And when the Fever underperform, she'll take the blame even though she didn't build this team. The fan base sees this coming from a mile away. They're not stupid. They watched Caitlin Clark drag Iowa to back-to-back national championship games through sheer brilliance. They know what elite talent looks like, and they're watching their front office waste it in real time. Look at those comments again: malicious, incompetent, stupid. That's not casual criticism. That's fans who've completely lost faith in the organization's ability to maximize their championship window. And once you lose fan trust, it's almost impossible to get it back. Winning fixes everything, sure, but you have to actually win. And this roster, as currently constructed, isn't beating New York or Las Vegas in a 7-game series. It's not even close. The comparison to the Lollipop Guild keeps coming up because it's perfect. The Fever are building the smallest team in the league in an era where size and versatility matter more than ever. They're zigging while everyone else zags. They're collecting guards while championship teams are adding bigs. They're making moves that would get a fantasy basketball player laughed out of their league. And the worst part? There's still time to fix this. The season doesn't start until May. Free agency is still active. Trades are still possible. The Fever could admit they've made mistakes, pivot to addressing their actual needs, and salvage this offseason. But nothing in their behavior suggests they think they've done anything wrong. The Shatoria Walker-Kimbrough signing wasn't accompanied by any acknowledgement of fan concerns, no statement about still pursuing bigs, no explanation of the roster strategy, just another guard added to the pile. So what happens next? One of 2 things. Either Amber Cox pulls off a miracle trade or signing in the next few weeks and salvages this offseason, or the Fever show up to training camp with the most undersized roster in the league and hope Caitlin Clark can overcome terrible roster construction through individual brilliance. Again, Stephanie White's only path to success is winning a championship. That's it. That's the only thing that will quiet these criticisms and validate this front office's decisions. Anything less than a title, and these same fans will be calling for organizational changes. And honestly, they'd be right to do it because Caitlin Clark deserves better than this. The fan base deserves better than this, and the WNBA deserves to see what happens when you actually build a competent roster around generational talent, instead of whatever this is. So here's my question for you. If you're a Fever fan, how much patience do you have left? One more bad signing? One disappointing playoff run? Or are you already done with this front office? Because based on these reactions, a lot of fans have already made up their minds. And if Indiana wastes Caitlin Clark's prime, the way so many franchises have wasted generational players before, this fanbase is going to remember exactly who was responsible. Let me know in the comments what move the Fever should make to fix this roster. And if you think I'm being too harsh on Amber Cox in this front office, tell me why. Because right now, I don't see how anyone defends signing a fourth guard when you don't have a backup center. Make it make sense.